Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn your Android TV box into a dedicated PS5 jailbreak exploit server using the UMTX2 method. We'll start from the very beginning, installing Armbian Linux to a rooted TV box, setting up the exploit host script, and finally testing it on the PS5. Everything will be done step by step so you can follow along easily. Now, you might be wondering why go through all this trouble when there's actually a simpler way to jailbreak your PS5 just by caching the exploit directly from the internet. That's a fair question, and I'll explain the reasons right after this. But first, let's roll the intro. So, why use an TV box? Well, just like in my previous tutorial where I used an ESP32 as the exploit host, the main goal here is to make the jailbreak process fully offline. You'll install the exploit to TV box while you're online, and after that, you can jailbreak your PS5 completely offline just by connecting it to the TV box via Wi-Fi. And here's the cool part. If there's ever an update to the exploit host, you can update it directly on the TV box and then just recache it on your PS5. With this full offline setup, your PS5 stays safe from accidentally downloading unwanted firmware updates. Now, the second reason is more personal. If you enjoy tinkering and messing around with new stuff and not just turning on jailbreak and launching backup games, then this is a fun little project to experiment with. Also, just so you know, unlike the ESP32 method I showed before, where the PS5 always has to be connected to the ESP32's Wi-Fi to jailbreak, the TV box works a bit differently. Once you cache the exploit host using the PS5 browser via the user guide or the ESP host app, you don't need to connect to the TV box again, just like caching from the internet, but this one's 100% offline. Alright, now let's move on to the next step, installing Armbian on the TV box. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll need a rooted TV box in order to install Armbian. In this tutorial, I'm using the TV box model ZTE-B860H. My TV box is already rooted, and you can see here that I've got the Terminal Emulator app installed. That's usually a good sign that your device has root access. This is actually the only app we'll need to get Armbian up and running. If you're using a different TV box model, make sure to look up how to root and install Armbian for your specific device. There are plenty of guides out there, and if you've already got Armbian installed on your TV box, feel free to skip this step and jump ahead. Alright, the first thing we need to do is flash Armbian onto an SD card, which will later run on the TV box. So, let's switch over to the computer. Right now, I'm on a website that provides Armbian images for TV boxes. We're going to download the Ubuntu server version because it's lighter and runs better for our setup. Now, the version available here is the latest build, but the problem is, with this newer kernel version, the Wi-Fi driver isn't compatible with my TV box, so Wi-Fi can't be activated. Luckily, I have an older kernel version that still works with my TV box's Wi-Fi, but it's still the same build version, which is 25.50. So make sure that after you install Armbian, your TV box's Wi-Fi works. We'll need Wi-Fi to connect the PS5 to the box later. Alright, I've already downloaded the image file. Now let's flash it to the SD card. Plug your SD card into your computer. Make sure it's at least 8 GB, though I recommend 16 GB for better performance. Next, open up the Rufus app to start flashing. In the device section, select your SD card. Be super careful here, because Rufus will format the drive and delete everything on it. So, if there's any important data, back it up first. In the boot selection section, choose the Armbian image file we just downloaded, or you can just drag and drop the file into the Rufus window like this. Then click Start to begin the flashing process. Now we just wait until it's done. If the cancel button changes to close like this, it means the flashing is complete. Now we can close Rufus. The next step is to modify a few Armbian files on the SD card so that it can actually boot on the TV box. We'll also need a DTB file that matches my TV box model, which is the B860H. Technically, Armbian already comes with some DTB files, but none of them worked for my device, so I downloaded one from an external source. Alright, let's open up the SD card. First, we need to rename one of the U-boot files, specifically the one that ends in 912. Again, this depends on your TV box model, so make sure you're renaming the right one for yours. Rename it to u-boot.ext. Next, we copy the DTB file we downloaded earlier into the DTB mlogic folder. Once it's there, go ahead and copy the file name. This will save us from typing it manually later. Make sure you include the file extension, which is .dtb. If you don't see file extensions on your computer, go to the View tab in File Explorer and check the option that says File Name Extensions. Now, let's go back to the root directory of the SD card. Open the xlinux folder and look for a file called xlinux.conf. Right-click it and choose to open it with Notepad. Inside this file, you'll see a line with the old DTB file name, usually something that starts with Meson. Just delete that and replace it with the name of the DTB file we copied earlier. Paste it in so it's accurate. Basically, we're telling Armbian which DTB file to load. So if your DTB file has a different name or location, make sure to adjust the path accordingly. Once that's done, don't forget to save the file. And that's it. The flashing process is complete. Now safely eject the SD card from your computer and plug it into your TV box. Now go ahead and plug everything in. The power cable, HDMI to a monitor, a keyboard, and an Ethernet cable. We'll only need the keyboard and monitor for a bit, just for the initial setup of Armbian and to check the IP address. We'll need that IP so we can remote into the TV box from our computer. The other end of the Ethernet cable should go into your internet source, either your router or your computer if you're sharing internet from there. If you're using your computer like I am, you'll need to set up internet sharing. Here's how to do it. Press Win+R to open the Run menu, then type ncpa.cpl and hit Enter. That'll open the Network Connections window. Find your internet source. In my case, it's Wi-Fi. Right-click on it and select Properties. Go to the Sharing tab and check both options there. Then just hit OK. Now, the TV box connected via Ethernet should also get internet access through your PC. Once everything is connected, power on the TV box. Alright, here's what you'll see the first time Armbian boots. You'll probably notice the IP address already showing up here on the screen. But if it doesn't, no worries. We can check it in a bit. First, you'll be asked to create a new password. Just choose something short and easy to remember. Type it in, hit Enter, and retype it again. Next, you'll be asked to choose your default system shell. Go ahead and type one to select Bash, then hit Enter. When it asks for a username, we're going to skip that. Just press Ctrl+C. Boom. The initial setup is done. Now, if you didn't see the IP address earlier, you can check it now by typing this command. Look under the ETH0 section. That's your TV box's IP address. If it already showed up earlier, it should match. Once you've got the IP address noted down, you can turn off the monitor and unplug the keyboard. We won't need them anymore. From now on, we're going to remote into the TV box using our computer via SSH. I'll be using an app called Putty for that. Alright, now open up the Putty app. In the Host Name field, type in the IP address of your TV box that we noted earlier. Leave the port as 22 and make sure the connection type is set to SSH. Before we hit Open, let's save this session so we don't have to type in the IP address every time we want to remote into the TV box. Just type a name under Saved Sessions and click Save. Now go ahead and click Open to start the remote session. The first time you connect, you'll probably see a security alert pop up like this. Just click Accept. When prompted, type root as the login username, then hit Enter. Next, enter the password you created earlier. Keep in mind, the characters won't show up as you type. That's totally normal. Just type it carefully, then press Enter. Boom! We're in! We've successfully accessed Armbian running on the TV box. Now let's move Armbian from the SD card to the TV box's internal memory, or eMMC. Right now, Armbian is still running off the SD card, and while you can keep using it like this, it's better to run it from internal storage for better performance, especially if your SD card is a bit slow. To start the transfer, type this command. Now sit back and let it copy everything over. Once it's done, type this command to reboot. Keep the SD card plugged in for now. Wait a bit until Armbian finishes booting again. Then, just like before, open Putty again. Since we already saved the session earlier, all we need to do is click the saved session name, click Load, and then Open. Log in again, username root, then enter your password. This time, we're going to shut down Armbian so we can safely remove the SD card. Type this. Wait a few seconds for the TV box to completely shut down. Now go ahead and remove the SD card. Then, boot the TV box back up by unplugging the power and plugging it back in. If everything went smoothly, Armbian should now boot directly from the eMMC. No SD card needed. Log back into Armbian using PuTTY UI. First, let's clear the terminal screen by typing clear. Next up, we're going to set up Armbian as a WebKit exploit host for UMTX2. I've already created a setup script and uploaded it to GitHub, so you can just copy and paste everything. As for the actual UMTX2 exploit script, full credit goes to IdleSauce. I haven't modified anything from the original. Down here, you'll see all the setup scripts we need to copy and paste into PuTTY. Alright, I'm going to arrange my PuTTY and Chrome windows side by side to make the copy-paste process easier. Let's begin with installing dependencies. Click the copy button on the script, then right-click in the PuTTY window to paste, and press enter. Wait until the installation process finishes and the terminal prompt returns. Next, copy the following script block, paste it into PuTTY like before, and hit enter. Just keep repeating the same process. Copy, paste, enter for each script section. Now, you might be wondering, why not just make one big script that installs everything in a single command? Well, yes, technically that's possible, but I've split it into step-by-step scripts for a reason. By doing it this way, if an error pops up during one of the steps, it'll be much easier for you to troubleshoot. You can simply copy the error message and paste it into ChatGPT to get a solution. Plus, you can also paste each part of the script into ChatGPT to understand exactly what it does. That way, you're not just following blindly, you're learning how everything works. And if you want, you can even modify the script to better fit your own setup. So this method isn't just about getting things done, it's also a learning opportunity. Now, for the host APD configuration, you'll see options to set the SSID, that's the Wi-Fi name, and WPA passphrase as the password. You can change these if you want. To do that, copy the script into Notepad first. For example, I'm going to change the SSID to UMTX2 TV box. I'll leave the Wi-Fi password as is. After editing, select the entire script, copy it, and paste it into the PuTTY window. Press enter. Keep going through the remaining script sections in the same way. Done? Great! Let's reboot Armbian now by copy-paste this command. Wait for the TV box to boot up. Once it's back on, we can reconnect using PuTTY. Just right-click on the top of the PuTTY window and select Restart Session. Log in again as root, then enter your password. Let's clear the screen again. Now, the setup script is technically done, but before we try this on the PS5, let's make sure all services are running correctly with no errors. We'll test them one by one, copying and pasting each command into PuTTY. Start with the PS5 host service. If it shows active, then it's working fine. Next, check the fake DNS service. Same thing, look for active. Then, verify DNS mask, and again, make sure it shows active. To return to the terminal prompt, press Ctrl+C. Now check the static IP service. All good? Awesome. Everything's running smoothly. Now there's one optional service, the auto shutdown service. This isn't mandatory, but it's useful if you want your Armbian system to shut down automatically after a set time, so you don't have to type the shutdown command manually every time. If you want to enable it, just copy and paste the two script sections below. Note, the number 600 means Armbian will shut down after 600 seconds. That's 10 minutes. If you want to change the time, just edit this number. For example, for 20 minutes, change it to 1200, then press enter. Finally, copy and paste this last script to enable and start the auto shutdown service. Alright, all the setup steps are done, so now let's test the WebKit exploit on the PS5. First, we need to download the UMTX2 TV Box PKG file from GitHub. Even though we can access the WebKit exploit through the PS5's user guide menu, I've also created a shortcut app that points directly to the exploit, making it easier to access later. Let's click here to download the PKG file. Once it's downloaded, copy it to a USB drive that's been formatted to exFAT, so the PS5 can read it. After that, safely eject the USB from your computer. Now let's move over to the PS5. First, we need to connect the PS5 to the TV box's Wi-Fi. Go to Settings, then Network, and choose Settings underneath. Make sure Connect to the Internet is enabled. Next, select Set up Internet Connection. Find the Wi-Fi name of your TV box based on the name you set earlier. Mine's called UMTX2 TV Box. Enter the password. Again, use whatever you set during the configuration, then hit Done and OK. Wait for the connection process to finish. You'll see a message saying, "Can't connect to the internet." That's completely normal because the TV box's Wi-Fi has no internet. This is intentional so the PS5 doesn't connect to the internet directly, even when we update the exploit in the future. I'll show you how to update the exploit later, from Armbian online and then from PS5 offline. Hit OK. Now let's access the WebKit exploit through the user guide menu first, since we haven't activated the payload yet and can't install the UMTX2 app from the USB just yet. Go back to Settings, then to the top menu, User Guide, Health and Safety, etc. Choose User Guide. If a warning message pops up, select Yes. There we go. The exploit page loads successfully. For your reference, I'm currently using the latest UMTX2 version, which was just updated 4 hours ago, as I record this video. And honestly, this latest version is insanely fast when it comes to jailbreaking. Let me show you in real time. Click the Jailbreak button. Watch this. It takes only 2 to 3 seconds to complete the jailbreak. Crazy, right? Next, let's activate the ETAHEN payload. And success. Since ETAHEN is now active, we can install the UMTX2 TV Box app we copied to the flash drive earlier. Plug the USB drive into the PS5, close the user guide, and head back to the PS5 home screen. Just to show you, nothing has been installed yet in the Media tab except Internet Browser. Now go back to Settings. Scroll all the way down to Debug Settings and select Package Installer. It detects the UMTX2 TV Box PKG file. Let's go ahead and install it. Done. Now back to the home screen. Go to the Media tab, and there it is. The new UMTX2 TV Box icon is now visible. Let's try launching the WebKit exploit from this app instead. Open it. Select Yes if prompted, and boom, exploit page loads just like before. So both methods work perfectly, whether through the user guide or the UMTX2 TV Box app. Earlier, we accessed the WebKit exploit directly from the TV Box acting as our server. Now, I'm going to show you how to cache the exploit to your PS5, so you won't need to power on the TV Box or connect the PS5 to it every time you want a jailbreak. From now on, we'll only use the TV Box when there's a new version update of UMTX2. Alright, let's go back to the computer. We'll log into Armbian using PuTTY, just like we did earlier. Make sure you're in the root folder first. To confirm this, you can type the following command. As you can see from the output, we're currently in the root folder. Next, type this command. A menu will appear. If you only want the PS5 to cache the WebKit exploit when it's accessed, simply type 2, then press Enter. Alright, the process of generating the app cache manifest is complete. Let's go back to the PS5. Open the WebKit exploit again from the user guide menu. Make sure the PS5 is still connected to the TV Box Wi-Fi. Look at the top right corner. You should see a notification that says, "Downloading new cache." Wait for that to finish. Now open the WebKit exploit again, but this time from the UMTX2 TV Box app. As expected, the downloading new cache notification appears here as well. Let's wait for it to complete. Done. Now we're going to test if we can access the WebKit exploit without the PS5 being connected to the TV box. First, disable the network from the PS5's network settings. Alright, now let's jailbreak from scratch. Restart the PS5. After rebooting, I'll show you first that the PS5 isn't connected to any network. Now let's open the WebKit exploit using the UMTX2 TV Box app. And there it is. The exploit page loads in offline mode, as shown in the top right notification. Before activating the jailbreak, let's check if it also works through the user guide. Yep, the exploit page loads just fine. Now let's activate the jailbreak, but this time from the UMTX2 app. And wow, look at that! The jailbreak process is even faster now, taking just 1 to 2 seconds. This latest version of UMTX2 is insanely fast and stable. I haven't experienced any kernel panic so far. So the point here is, the caching process was successful. You no longer need to connect to the TV box every time you want a jailbreak. You'll only need the TV box again when it's time to update the exploit. And now, I'll walk you through the next steps on how to update the exploit. Now let's go back to the computer. To update the UMTX2 exploit, the steps are almost the same as when we generated the app cache manifest earlier. Log into Armbian, then type the same command until this menu appears. As explained here, to update the exploit, choose option 1, then press enter. Wait for the download and app cache manifest generation to finish. Once it's done, press enter and the TV box will automatically restart. Let's go back to the PS5. Don't connect your PS5 to the TV box Wi-Fi just yet. First, we need to delete the old cached WebKit exploit from the system. Let's start with the UMTX2 TV box app. If you haven't already, run the jailbreak first so the payload menu becomes available. After that, scroll down and select Payload Browser App Cache Remover. Once that's done, we'll do the same thing from the user guide. Okay, looks like in my case it was already removed from there as well. Next, we're going to clear the web browser data from the system settings. Go to Settings, System. Then scroll down to Web Browser. Now choose Delete Cookies and Clear Website Data. Alright, that's done. Now we're ready to cache the updated exploit again. Let's go ahead and connect the PS5 to the TV box Wi-Fi now. Then, open the WebKit exploit, either from the UMTX2 TV box app or from the user guide menu. Both will automatically recache the new version just like before. Once that's done, simply disable the network on your PS5. And that's it. The WebKit exploit is now updated. Alright, that wraps up our full tutorial on how to set up, cache, and update the latest UMTX2 WebKit exploit on your PS5 using a TV box running Armbian. With this setup, you can now run the jailbreak even without needing to connect your PS5 to the TV box every time, making the process much faster and more convenient. Remember, the TV box only needs to be turned on when there's a new exploit update, so you can keep your PS5 offline and safe from unwanted firmware updates. If you followed every step, your system should now be running the latest cached exploit with incredible speed and stability. Alright, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tutorials, and drop a comment below if you run into any issues or have questions. I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.